So today I'll be trying out the Infallible 24-hour Fresh Wear Foundation from L'Oreal. This is being sold as a lightweight coverage foundation with 24-hour staying power. But I picked this foundation up for $12 and you get your standard 1 fluid ounce of product. So I bought the shade 420 True Beige, which is the 5th lightest shade. This looked to be the closest match for me. All the other shades looked either way too light or way too pinky for my undertone. And this foundation has 30 shades available in the collection and has an SPF of 25. And on L'Oreal's website, some of the claims read, "Experience lightweight, long wear, up to 24-hour fresh wear foundation provides medium to buildable coverage that lasts all day and allows skin to breathe. The formula's 3 oil absorbers resist sweat, water, and transfer." I'm not so sure how I feel about that. I have no problem with this foundation resisting transfer, but the whole resisting sweat and water thing kind of makes me nervous because this leads me to believe that this is going to be a very drying foundation. The ultra-thin formula goes on smoothly to give a fresh complexion that lasts. Color stays true and blends in evenly so your makeup looks fresh all day. This foundation is suitable for all skin types. So if you're enjoying this video while you're watching it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you want to know more about the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation and how it wears throughout the day, don't go anywhere, just keep watching. So I've already washed, moisturized, and primed my face, and as always, all the products that I've used will be listed in the description box below. I might be looking a little extra glowy this morning, and that's because after watching a couple of reviews, it seems like this is a little bit more mattifying than once thought, and a little drying on the skin. So I just lightly toned my face with the CeraVe Hydrating Micellar Water, and then for moisturizer I used the Nivea Q10 Day Cream with SPF 30. I love this because it's not really difficult to find regular moisturizers that contain an SPF, but it's a little bit trickier to find like a richer day cream that contains SPF, and this stuff is super thick. It's not going anywhere. So hopefully by doing that, it gives this foundation the best possible chance of working out for me. So on the right side of my face, I'm going to use my Real Technique sponge, and on the left side of my face, I'm going to use my CC Skin Perfecting Brush number 702 from IT Cosmetics. So this is the packaging. It comes in this little glass bottle, and it also comes with a pump. This one sounds a little liquidy, so I'm just going to give it a good shake first. Yeah, it's pretty liquidy, so I'm just going to start with that. So far the color looks okay. Hopefully it won't oxidize on me. I don't know, the formula seems, it's not that I enjoy using a really thick formula, but I don't know. This one seems a little on the liquidy side. I mean, there's really not much there in terms of coverage. I can see a lot of hyperpigmentation popping through there. But looking in the viewfinder, it did a really good job at evening out my complexion. It's just when I get up close, that area there does not look good. It just looks super dry and textured. Yeah, I think we have a clinger here, folks. That right there is not looking too great. That makes me a little nervous to try the brush out, but we're gonna do it. If it looks horrible, I'll just go back in and try and smooth it out with the sponge. One thing I have noticed with this one is you really have to work fast because it seems to dry pretty quickly. That is not looking good. I just look so textured. So I'm going to try and do my best to try and smooth this out with the sponge, especially like in between my eyebrows here. Wow, there is like crazy texture happening up there. Now that I've attacked that fiasco with the sponge, it does look better. It doesn't look great, but it looks better. I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I don't think it can look any worse. I just want to touch up my cheeks just a little bit, but I'm going to leave everything else alone because I'm afraid if I add any more product up there, it's just going to make a bad situation worse. So that's as good as it's going to get. I don't know. This one emphasizes texture big time. Right in between my eyebrows, especially, there is texture there that I didn't even know I had. And right around my nose area is looking really crusty. I've only had this on my face for maybe 10 minutes and I can already feel it drying out my skin. I just find that so strange because I went in with a lot of hydrating products. The shade match seems okay for me, but I don't know how much good that's gonna do if I'm feeling uncomfortable from the tightness all day. I'm hoping throughout the day that this warms up to my face and it gets a little less dry looking, but right now it is not one of my favorites. So that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna go put on the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. So unfortunately, we've gone from bad to worse. You can tell by looking at my neck. This foundation has darkened about 2 to 3 shades. I don't know if I'd say I'm orange, but I'm fairly dark. Ooh, and I have a cat hair on my nose. So the color we've established is not great, but to make matters worse, I mean, I still have that texture thing happening in between my eyes. All around my nose and mouth area is just really dry and crusty looking. And around my chin is really super tight and dry. I've had foundations dry out my skin before, but this is like crazy dry. I can sometimes make a matte foundation work for me. The problem is this instantly zapped all the moisture out of my face the moment it hit my skin. And the longer I wear it, the more tight and dry and itchy it feels, and I've only had this on my face for a very short period of time. So I decided to peel back the label on the side and take a peek at the ingredients. So the first ingredient is water, obviously. The second is dimethicone, which is a silicone. They can sometimes be drying on my skin, but not super drying. It usually gives a foundation that slippery feel. So the next ingredient after that is something called isododecane, and that's a synthetic that's used as a solvent in a lot of makeup products. It helps with the spreadability of the product, and it doesn't absorb into the skin. But the next ingredient after that is not a good one. I think I found the culprit that is like dehydrating my skin. It's something called denatured alcohol. And according to Paula's Choice, it says this type of alcohol gives a quick drying finish, immediately degreasing the skin. It also says, when you see the names of this alcohol listed on the first 6 ingredients on an ingredients label without question, it will aggravate and be cruel to the skin. No way around it. It's simply bad for all skin types. Consequences include dryness and erosion on the surface of the skin. Basically, it's not good for us. So at least I know it's doing the damage and driving me crazy, because right now my skin is super itchy. So that's where we are right now with this. Just know up front, there's a lot of denatured alcohol and it's not one of the better ingredients in here. So for concealer, I'm also doing a wear test for this one as well. And this is the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. And I'll link that video also down below or up there if you'd like to watch. For bronzer, I'm wearing the Physician Formula Butter Bronzer. For blush, I am wearing the e.l.f. Blush Palette. This is a really great, affordable little palette. You have to be careful though to go in with a very light hand because the pigments are pretty bold. I usually end up having to go in with a giant powder brush afterwards to try and tone down the color. For eyes, I'm using the Rimmel Magnifies Nude Edition. For my lips, I intended to do a wear test for this liquid lipstick until I realized it didn't completely dry down. So if you're looking for something that lasts all day, this isn't really that kind of formula. This is the Burt's Bees liquid lipstick that just came out. The formula for this is nice, but it's more like a traditional lipstick. It's just kind of packaged like a lip gloss. The color is pretty. It's this like coral pinky color. So we're calling the time at 10:37. Hopefully this doesn't get any drier or any worse, but I don't know. Right now it's so freaking uncomfortable. It's all I can do not to scratch my face. So I'm going to attempt to go on with the rest of my day and ignore the itchiness, and I will see you in 5 hours. Time is 4:25. The expression on my face says it all. I am going crazy here. I am so dry. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's dry. It's painfully dry. It looks so bad. There are no words to describe how bad it looks. Look how white my neck is. Look how orange my face is. It's like so dry and flaky and textured up here. It's just awful. I don't know, the same dryness that existed earlier. It's weird. My forehead looks shiny. Like, look how shiny my forehead looks. And then I have this dry texture thing happening in between my eyebrows. My cheeks look super shiny. And then the whole area around my mouth and into my chin is just dry and crusty. Another thing that's happening is I'm noticing some raised bumps happening on my cheek. There's one there, one down here. So I think I could possibly be having an allergic reaction to this one. As far as how my skin feels, it feels very dehydrated and very tight. I'm really frustrated right now. It's so uncomfortable and so tight. I just want to take everything off my face and give myself a really intensive hydrating face mask. So that's where we're at right now. Not looking so good and not feeling too good. Hopefully it doesn't get any drier because I don't know how much more I can take. But I will see you guys later on tonight. So the time is 8:49. So I have had this foundation on entirely way too long. It's been over 10 hours and I just want this stuff off. It's just super itchy and uncomfortable and my skin feels incredibly tight. Ooh, that's not a good look for me. Oh boy. So all through here is still like all textured and it's still really crusty around my nose and along my chin area. This area here has been giving me grief since I first applied it. It just looks so dehydrated. Strangely enough, my forehead doesn't look that bad. I'm just going to zoom you in quickly and show you what I see. I don't know what's going on with my forehead, but considering my skin is so dry, it looks insanely shiny up there. This area is the area that's giving me a little bit grief as far as like the crustiness. And my chin is completely worn away now. This area, oh my god, like if I smile, look how tight my skin looks. Like it just looks so uncomfortable and dehydrated. So I think it's no secret that I really dislike this one. And also I think the whole denatured alcohol as an ingredient sort of wigs me out a little bit. I really can't even blame this on this product being a matte foundation. I've worn plenty of matte foundations that work for me when my skin is well prepped. I just wasn't prepared for this product to completely dry out my skin. They weren't kidding about this being an oil absorbing foundation. I just wasn't expecting it to absorb every little bit of moisture off my face. So I really can't see myself reaching for this one again. So if you have any other questions about this foundation, just leave them in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe before you leave. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!